Hello students, I am Dr. Garima Srivastava from Lal Bahadur Shastri College. I am taking up the topic of industrial democracy and participation management. Industrial democracy. Now, when we talk about the term industrial democracy, it means industry and democracy. Now, industry means a place where the people are employed in any kind of manufacturing of product, where the workers are there and our management is there. Democracy means a freedom of right, a freedom or right which is provided to the people in getting that, in putting forward their opinion or putting forward their suggestion in front of the management. So, the term industrial democracy, the important term, it is a very important term which means a right to freedom of speech or to receive information by the workers who are engaged in different employment in the industry. One of the important requirement of industrial relation is industrial democracy, which can be brought about by workers' participation in management. Now, the term workers' participation in management is a very important term and which has already been taken in the objectives of a trade union. Now, why it is so important? Because once the worker is a part of the members, part of the management, or once he is a part of decision making authorities or decision making activities of the management, then only the worker will be able to put forward his suggestion. So, for that purpose, to bring about industrial democracy, to bring about freedom in the workers to present their views, to present their opinions in front of the management, it is important to make them participate in the management activities. Secondly, workmen's participation in management takes a shape of self-management, co-determination, worker direction and joint management council. So, when we talk about workers' participation in management, it is a more advanced feature of a trade union, which the trade unions are making itself towards. Now, the trade unions are more and more structured and they are working towards a structure that is called as workers' participation in management. So, why is it so? Because once the worker is a part of management's decision activities, he will be self disciplined, he will be self controlled and he will be determined for the productivity of the organization. So, of course, the basic objective of the organization will be achieved, that is high productivity and high revenues. So, this is a very positive effect of workers' participation in management. Participation means sharing the decision making powers between management and workers. Now, this means the decision making powers will be shared between management and the workers. So, earlier when trade unions were there, the decision making authority was whole soul rendered to the management itself. Management did not delegated their authority, did not delegated their power to the workers, but nowadays management make them a part of their decision making activities. So, participation is a system of checks and balances which prevent exploitation and provide equity and fairness. It provides equity and fair values to the workers. When the worker become a part of management, when they move upward and are able to present their problems, are able to present their grievances in front of the management, they will be able to serve more loyally towards the management, because they feel belonging, their belongingness is there in towards the industry. So, it is the whole sole responsibility of the employer that industrial democracy prevails in the industry. Objectives of industrial democracy. Now, industrial democracy also works towards certain objectives. It aims at evaluating the performance of both the groups, that is the workers and the management. That means, when we talk about industrial democracy, only workers are not there or only management is not there. It aims at the evaluation of performance of both workers as well as management. That means, workers have to work towards the fulfillment of the objectives of the organization or the employer, and employer will in turn will take care of the basic needs of the workers. Now, basic needs means of course wages, salaries, pays, holidays, rests, canteens, drinking facilities, education, training, promotion, many other aspects are covered under this perspective. So, industrial democracy can only come when we evaluate the performance of both the workers and the organization. Then secondly, it provides respect and equity to the workers. So, of course, when the worker is upgraded, when a worker is becoming a part of the management decision making power, so in that case the workers are given respect and they are treated equally to the management. Then it provides rule of law and natural justice to the workers in the hands of the employer. So, in the third point, industrial democracy also provides to fulfill the rule of law. That means, all the laws that prevail in the industry are implemented, are successfully implemented in the industry, and there is a natural justice that is given to the workers. That means, whenever we talk about a manufacturing unit, many laws may act. For example, a Factories Act may apply, Air Pollution Act may apply, other Soil Pollution Act may apply, then Compensation Act may apply, Equal Remuneration Act may apply. So, industrial democracy aims at better implementation of these laws in the industrial premises. So, if there is better implementation of these laws in the premises, of course, there will be a sense of satisfaction amongst the employees. Then workers remain self-disciplined, committed towards self-control and self-direction. Of course, if worker himself makes some decision or he is a part of certain decision, then he will act sincerely, he will act with a confidence towards the better revenue generation of the organization. So, when he is a part of a trade union, other members also follow the suit. They will also be self-confident, they will be committed towards the fulfillment of various objectives of the organization. So, all this comes from where? When a person or a person representing the members or person representing the workers working in the industry becomes a part of the management, where he is able to put forward his opinion or suggestions on the part of the workers. Then it enriches morale, motivation and sense of belongingness towards the organization. Of course, when the workers or a representative of workers become a part of management, it brings in a sense of responsibility, brings in a sense of belongingness in the workers, that the management is thinking about themselves, and management is also thinking about the problems of the workers also. Then it results in high productivity and high quality of works. Of course, if the person is satisfied, he will work towards the high productivity, high efficiency of himself, and once the workers are highly efficient, highly productive, they will what will come? The high productivity will come and quality of work will be there. Therefore, the revenue generation will be more. It offers better compensation to the workers in case of any mishappening or health hazards in the premises. In case of any kind of mishappenings or ill hazards, industrial democracy provides better compensation packages to the workers. So, now in this point, the industrial democracy ultimately what it gives? It gives an option, it gives an opportunity to the workers to put forward its opinions, put forward its suggestions in front of the management, and ultimately he will also be getting some benefits from the management if there are any kinds of health hazards in the industry. Now, industrial democracy will be ultimate aim when workers' participation in management will be there. So, higher the level of participation of worker in the management, higher level of democracy in the industry will be there. Workers' participation in management refers to the participation of non-managerial employees. We are talking about non-managerial employees, that means people who are not a part of management. Now, who are those people? They can be lower level management or they can be the workers, blue collared workers who are working in the industry. Now, once these any member or any representative of these workers become a part of management, workers' participation in management comes into play. non-managerial employees in decision making process of the organization. Now, what do they do once they are a part of the management? They are responsible in taking up of decision activities of the management. Workers' participation gives employees the mental and psychological satisfaction and thereby increase their involvement in the affairs of the organization. So, once a worker is a part of the management, it gives them mental and psychological satisfaction. Of course, when you are able to present your view, when you are able to present your grievances in front of the management, and management is free enough, management is cool enough to listen to your problems and is working on the problems of the workers, and when management aims at reducing of these problems of the workers, then the worker becomes more and more satisfied. Then if you get a satisfied worker, he will not switch over from your organization and he will work towards more and more productivity of the organization. So, ultimately objectives of the workers' participation in management, like we were having other objectives of industrial democracy, workers' participation in management also has certain objectives. Now, workers' participation in management helps to train, educate the workers to know their role in meeting the organizational objectives. Now, industrial democracy was working towards the an opportunity to working towards the opportunity that will be provided to the workers to put forward their opinions and suggestions in front of the management. But workers' participation in management, its objective is to train and educate the members first. Once the person is trained, once the person is educated, then only he will be able to put forward his opinion, his suggestions regarding certain matters of the workers. So, the basic very first objective of workers' participation is to educate and train the workers, to make the workers aware about the importance of productivity and quality in sustenance and growth of the organization. So, of course, industrial democracy aims at discipline, self control of the workers, and ultimately what will these two things give? It will give the confidence to the workers to increase the productivity and quality of the product. So, once the productivity is high or the quality is good, the management, the workers will be able to understand the importance of high productivity in the industry. So, it is very important to make them understand the importance of productivity in the industry. So, for this purpose education and training is given. So, educated and trained workers understand the importance of quality of work, quality of productivity in the organization, and what this ultimately will lead? It will lead to the growth of the organization or industry by increase in revenue. Thirdly, to improve supervisor worker relations in the management. So, workers' participation improves the relationship between the supervisors and the workers also, and management unions relations. So, likewise trade unions, worker participation in management also aims at supervisor worker relations with the management. Why? Because supervisor can be a person who can be representative of the worker, who will put forward the problems, who will put forward the grievances of the workers in front of the management. So, for this participation, it is necessary to maintain the relationship between the supervisor and worker and management associations. Now, we are talking about management union relations. Now, like workers are having unions through trade unions, similarly employers can also have their own unions, because there are certain cases where we can see that management is getting exploited in the hands of the workers. Why? Because workers have many instruments which they can play with while exploiting the employers. For example, a strike. Suppose workers go on strike without informing the management, without any reason, or suppose they have some reason also, they go on strike. So, in the case of a strike, the work comes to a halt. So, in that case industry suffers. So, in this point it is necessary that workers should also be aware that they cannot go on strike without informing the industry or employer. So, for this purpose only, to save the employer in the hands of employees, the employer unions are also there. So, workers' participation in management has an objective to maintain relationship between trade unions and employer unions. Then, to involve workers in subjects like safety and environment care. Till now, we were talking about welfare and health. Now, workers' participation in management also takes into regard one more aspect of work life, that is safety. Safety deals with environmental factors, the environment in which the worker works or works in the industry. For example, he is working on a machine where high amount of heat is being given out. So, in that case high ventilation should also be there in that particular area, because due to heat his body can suffer many of the problems or many injuries. So, in this case the workers' participation in management will help the workers to put forward their points, to put forward their opinions, to put forward their problems in regarding the safety measures in front of the employers. Employer or management, as they are sitting in their own room, they are working there on their own issues, they may or may not be aware of the problems of the workers. So, actually the problems of the workers will be stated in front of the management by the workers only. So, workers participation in management will give them a platform to present their views, their problems in front of the management. To assist in team building, development of workers, to help them in grow in organization. So, till now we were talking about cooperation, maintaining relationship between trade unions and workers. Now, it is also aiming at building of team building activities or team building environment in the organization. That means, worker is not alone, he is working in a team towards the goal fulfillment of the industry. So, the basic objective of industry, goal fulfillment or objective fulfillment, will only come when the workers work in cooperation in team with the management. Now, how he will feel that he is a team with the management? Of course, when he will be involved in various decisions or he will be a part of management's decision activities. Then, to develop a culture of self involvement and reduce vigilant supervision. So, of course, this point will be coming from self control. When the people are self controlled, self disciplined in the organization, when they commit in front of the management to fulfill the objectives of the management only, then in that case the people will be self involved. Of course, when I go and promise something to the management, it is my responsibility to fulfill the promise. Similar is the case with the workers. When the worker is a part of management's activities, management decision making activities, he will be more and more responsible. Why? He will be responsible because he has already committed certain points to the management. So, once he has committed, this commitment will be followed down the ladder to other people, other members of the union also. To encourage employee pride and morale and integrity. Ultimately, it will lead to pride of the person who is the representative of the workers in the management. It will increase the morale and motivation of the people. There will be a sense of belongingness in the management. The worker will feel that they are belonging to the management, and they will also feel that management is thinking of them, thinking of their welfare, health and safety, and there will be integrity. That means, there will be a unity amongst the worker. They will not go against the decisions of the management, they will not go against the working conditions of the management. Now, participation can be achieved in certain levels. Of course, management does not want to give its authority, delegate its authority to the members or the workers, but it does so to a certain extent. Why? Because it wants that the workers become a part of the management decision, and of course, to increase the satisfaction or increase the benefits to the workers, also to provide all the benefits of the workers participation in management. So, for that purpose management has made certain levels and management has defined certain levels of participation. There are basically 5 levels of participation under which the worker can be a part of management's decision making activities. So, for that purpose industry can take up any of the level according to its suitability and make member or workers a part of the management decision making activities. So, the very first level of participation is informative participation. This is the initial stage where participation is in informative form, where members have the right to receive information and give opinions on the matter of general economic importance. That means this at this level the management only allows a kind of informative stage, informative form. That means they only inform the workers about certain decision taken up by the management. So, this is a very initial stage where certain information on certain issues will be shared with the workers, with the people who are working in the industry. Now, I am going to explain levels of participation taking up certain example. Suppose there is an introduction of a new machine in the manufacturing unit. I will go on step by step taking up the same example and level of participation given by the management. So, while in taking up first level informative participation, when an introduction of new machine is there in the factory or a manufacturing unit, the management will just provide certain information that a new machine is going to come in the industry, is going to come in the manufacturing unit. This is the very first level. That means, it will just provide certain information that this new machine will be coming in the premises. So, this is mere sharing of information of major aspects like product mix, productivity, balance sheet. That means, only a few information, only a few points of the basic information will be shared with the workers. Rest all the points will be restrained to the management itself. Second, consultative participation. Now, as the name suggests, consultative means consultation or some suggestions will be taken up by the members or the workers of the trade unions. That means about a new, introduction of this new machine, consultation or suggestive measures, suggestions will be taken up by the representative of the workers also. Now, in that case consultation will be given, suggestions will be taken up. That means, workers can give suggestions that they want this machine, they do not want this machine. They can ask that what is this machine for, what is the main purpose, what is the advantage of this machine. All these points can be put forward by the workers. If we see the first point, that is informative, where the people are not encouraged to give suggestions. Now, just giving the information that a new machine will be coming can spread a rumor in negative sense that most of the people will become jobless. Rather than, if we see the second point, consultative participation, when we are telling about the introduction of this machine, plus we are also saying that what is your suggestion as a worker who will be working on this machine, then the workers will feel that yes, management is looking after our needs and management is also willing to provide their assistance, so that we are able to adapt to this machine easily. It involves high degree of sharing of views. Workers' body or joint councils can make recommendations. Here in this consultative participation, there is a high degree of sharing of views. When the workers body or joint councils are a part of trade unions only, and councils are also a part where most of the decision making activities of trade unions are done related to various conflicts. So, in consultative participation, high degree of sharing of views is done, and these views are presented through workers body or joint management councils. Then the management has a discretion to accept or not to accept the views and suggestions of the employees. Now, in this level also the management does not give power to the people that their suggestions will be accepted. Their suggestions are welcomed, their suggestions are taken up, but the management will act on those suggestions or not, this is particularly kept to the management itself. Thirdly, associative participation. Now, associative participation you can say is a extension of consultative participation. When management is under pressure obligation to accept and implement unanimous decision of the employees. Now, here if we talk about the introduction of that new technology only, now the people, if people are not willing to adapt that technology, they can force, they can pressurize the management that they are not willing to take up this machine. So, they will be forced and management will be bound to follow the suit. Under this method, managers and workers jointly work towards the decisions. Administrative participation. At the next higher level, it is administrative participation, which provides a greater degree of share in the authority and responsibility of management functions. Here the consultation is extended to more areas. In addition to management, has a moral responsibility to implement and recommendation made by the joint council. Now, if we take up the same example again, this is where the introduction of new machine was there. So, if the people want that this machine has to be implemented or this machine has to come or this is beneficial to the workers, then they can demand for certain trainings before working on those machines. So, they give a certain more higher degree to the workers in the workers in the decision making activities of the management, because ultimately the topic of introduction of this new machine in the industry or in the premises is the basic point of the workers only, because without workers we will not be able to operate this machine. So, if the workers are willing to get this machine in the premises, then only you will be able to administer that, implement that machine in the premises. Lastly, the decisive participation, that means here decisions are taken jointly by the management and the workers on important matters concerning the firm. That means in this level, the workers and the management take up almost all kinds of important issues, important measures, important decisions together and jointly under the decisive participation. Here both are equally responsible and accountable for the success or failure of the firm. Of course, when you take major part in the decision making, then your success will be also your and failure will also be following. This is in true sense sharing of profits and pains between the management and workers. A number of analysis has shown that significant changes of human behavior is possible rapidly if persons who are expected to change are allowed to decide what and how about such changes. That means ultimately we can say that participation is a very important part of industry these days. If the worker feel that they are a part of management and management make them understand their importance and their decision making capacities, then in that case we can have self confidence among the workers and there can be a very conducive relationship between management and workers. Ultimately, workers' participation in management will lead to better relationship between trade unions and employer unions. So, we can say that management can adopt any of the following levels of management, like informative participation, consultative participation, associative participation, administrative participation or decision participation. Now, of course, when all these levels are there, management is free to decide at which level it is going to compromise with the workers. Now, what workers have to do? Of course, when they have some decision making capabilities, then they have decision making say in the management, they become more responsible, their motivation becomes high, morale becomes high and they work towards higher productivity. Now, of course, every industry aims at higher productivity of the workers and higher revenue generation. So, workers become motivated, high quality of work life ensures it that high quality of product is being produced and satisfied workers ultimately do not make any trouble, do not form any trouble for the management in future also. Management in turn, what it does? Management helps the people to helps them to educate, helps them to train, helps them to train for what? To promote, to give them more promotion opportunities in the industry. Thank you.